Jain children, today we are going to study a new portion of the chapter, the solid state. You know, solids are classified into two types, crystalline solids and amorphous solids. The main characteristic of crystalline solid is a regular and repeating pattern of constituent particles. The position of each constituent particle usually shown by points. Thus, a regular three-dimensional arrangement of points or particles in space is called a crystal lattice. There are only 14 possible three-dimensional lattices. These are called Bravais lattices because the French mathematician Auguste Bravais first described these lattices. Crystal lattice, otherwise known as space lattice or simply a lattice. Characteristics of crystal lattice. First point is, each point in a lattice is called lattice point or lattice site. Next, each point in a crystal lattice represents one constituent particle, which may be an atom or an ion or a molecule. Third one, lattice points are joined by straight lines to bring out the geometry of the lattice. Crystal lattices are subdivided into several cells. They are known as unit cells. Unit cells are defined as the smallest repeated portion of a crystal lattice. Thus, unit cell represent the shape of entire crystal and it repeated to form the crystal lattice. So we can conclude that a regular three-dimensional arrangement of particles in space is called a crystal lattice, and the smallest repeated portion of a crystal lattice is known as a unit cell. A unit cell is characterized by 6 parameters, 3 edges A, B and C, and 3 angles between these edges alpha, beta and gamma. Thus, alpha is in between the edges B and C, and beta is in between the edges C and A, and gamma is in between the edges B and A. Our next topic is the classification of unit cells. Unit cells are broadly classified into two types, primitive unit cells and centered unit cells. Primitive unit cells, the constituent particles are only present at its corners. Thus, you can see the particles at its corner positions. The second type of unit cell is known as centered unit cell. In this unit cell, one or more constituent particles present at the positions other than corners in addition to those particles present at its corners. So, unit cells are classified into two types, primitive and centered unit cell. Next, classification of the centered unit cells. Centered unit cells are classified into three types. First one, body-centered unit cells. Second one, face-centered unit cell. And third one is end-centered unit cells. First one is body-centered unit cell. Such a unit cell contains one constituent particle at its body center in addition to the particle present at its corners. The second one is face-centered unit cell. Such unit cell contains one constituent particle present at the center of each face in addition to the particle present at its corners. The third one, end-centered unit cell. In such unit cell, one constituent particle is present at the center of any two opposite faces in addition to the particle present at its corners. Next, the three-dimensional crystal lattice is generated by the repetition of unit cells. Unit cells are characterized by 6 parameters, 3 edges A, B and C, and the angle between these edges alpha, beta and gamma. Based on these lattice parameters, we have 7 popular crystal systems. First one cubic, second one tetragonal, third one orthorhombic, fourth one hexagonal, fifth one rhombohedral, sixth one monoclinic, last one is triclinic crystal system. Now we can discuss one by one. First one, cubic crystal system. In this, A is equal to B, which is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree. The possible variations are primitive, body centered and face centered. That means in 3 versions in our nature, these cubic crystal systems are seen. Examples: sodium chloride, zinc blende and copper. The second crystal system is tetragonal crystal system. In this, A is equal to B, which is not equal to C, alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree. Then the possible variations are primitive and body centered. That means these 2 versions are seen in our nature. Tetragonal system, 2 versions. Example: calcium sulfate and titanium dioxide. The third one is orthorhombic crystal system. In this, A is not equal to B, which is not equal to C, alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree. Then possible variations are primitive, body centered, face centered and end centered. That means all centered unit cells and the primitive unit cells are included in this crystal system. Examples: rhombic sulfur, potassium nitrate and barium sulfate. The next one is hexagonal crystal system. In this, A is equal to B, which is not equal to C. Alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to 90 degree. Gamma is equal to 120 degree. Possible variations are primitive only. Example: graphite, zinc oxide, etc. Next one, rhombohedral or trigonal crystal system. In this, A is equal to B, which is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90 degree. The possible variations are primitive only. Examples: calcium carbonate and mercuric sulfide. Next crystal system is monoclinic crystal system. In this, A is not equal to B, which is not equal to C. Alpha is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree, but beta is not equal to 90 degree. Possible variations: primitive and end-centered unit cell. That means these 2 possible variations are seen in our nature. For example, monoclinic sulfur, sodium sulfate decahydrate, Na2SO4 10H2O. Next crystal system, triclinic crystal system. Here A is not equal to B, which is not equal to C. Alpha is not equal to beta, which is not equal to gamma. These all angles are not equal to 90 degree. Then the possible variation is primitive only. Examples: potassium dichromate, boric acid, copper sulfate pentahydrate, etc. An easy trick for remember the 7 crystal system by using the sentence: see Tom there. See Tom there. You can here see C, Tom there. C for cubic, T for tetragonal, O for orthorhombic, M for monoclinic, T for triclinic, H for hexagonal, R for rhombohedral. So now we can check the axial character or edge length. The first and last box have same edge lengths. A is equal to B, which is equal to C. Then the second and second last column have the same edge lengths. A is equal to B, which is not equal to C. Then the middle boxes, third, fourth and fifth have same edge lengths. A is not equal to B, which is not equal to C. Now let us check the angles. First three boxes, all the angles alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree. In monoclinic crystal system, alpha is equal to gamma, which is equal to 90 degree, but beta is not equal to 90 degree. In triclinic crystal system, alpha is not equal to beta, which is not equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90 degree. Then in hexagonal system, alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to 90 degree, but gamma is equal to 120 degree. But in the case of rhombohedral, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90 degree. Next, our topic is number of atoms in a unit cell. We know that any crystal lattice is made up of a very large number of unit cells, and every lattice point is occupied by one constituent particle. Let us now find out what portion of each particle belongs to a particular unit cell. We shall consider three types of cubic unit cells. First one, simple cubic unit cell, and the second one, body-centered cubic unit cell, and the third one is face-centered cubic unit cell. First one, simple or primitive cubic unit cell. In this unit cell, it has atoms only at its corner. Each atom in a corner is shared between 8 adjacent unit cells. In simple cubic lattice, 8 atoms are present at its 8 corners. In open structure shown here, the distance between the atoms are greatly exaggerated. But actually, the atoms are packed much more closely together as shown in the space-filling model. The space-filling model shows atoms touch along the edges of the cell. But considering the portion of atoms inside the cell boundary, we can generate a unit cell of a simple cubic lattice. From this, we can identify that each atom at its corners contribute 1/8 of its original volume. The total number of corners present in a cube is 8, and there are 8 atoms in 8 corners. Therefore, the number of atoms in a simple cubic unit cell is equal to 8 into 1/8, which is equal to 1 particle. Thus, the effective number of particles denoted by the symbol Z for a simple cubic lattice is equal to 1. Next, we calculate the effective number of particles present in a body-centered cubic lattice, or otherwise known as BCC lattice. A body-centered cubic lattice contains one particle at its body center in addition to the particles present at its corners. Now, you can see the space-filling model of atoms. In space-filling model, these atoms are packed much more closely together, and this shows atoms touch along the edges of the cell. By considering the portion of atoms inside the cell boundary, we can generate a unit cell of body-centered cubic lattice. Here you can see one particle is present at the body center of the cube. which is not shared by the neighboring unit cell. Then the contribution of particles present at the corners is equal to 1 by 8 into 8, which is equal to 1 particle, and the particle present at its body center is equal to 1. Therefore, the effective number of particles present in BCC lattice is equal to particle present at its corners and particle present at its body center, that is equal to 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2 particles. Therefore, the effective number of particles present in a BCC lattice, Z is equal to 2. Next, we calculate the effective number of particles present in a face-centered cubic unit cell, or simply known as FCC lattice. In this unit cell, one constituent particle present at the center of each face in addition to the particles present at its corners. This is the open structure of face-centered cubic unit cell, but in reality, the particles are very close to each other, which is shown in the space-filling model of the unit cell. For FCC lattice, center of 6 faces contains 1 constituent particles each. But actually, half of its original volume is present inside the unit cell. Therefore, the number of particles present from its corners is equal to 1 by 8 into 8, which is equal to 1 particle, and the particle present at the face centers is equal to 1 by 2 into 6, which is equal to 3 particles. Therefore, the effective number of particles in FCC lattice is equal to the number of particles present at the corners plus the number of particles present at the face centers, which is equal to 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. That is, the effective number of particles in FCC lattice, Z is equal to 4. Thus, we can conclude that the effective number of particles present in a simple cubic lattice Z is equal to 1. For body-centered cubic lattice Z is equal to 2, and for face-centered cubic lattice Z is equal to 4. So, our today's portion is over. Thank you.